How's it going, guys? So there's this movie called Southbound that I just recently saw, and it is an anthology horror film directed by these wonderful people. Directed by 4 people, and these people are Roxanne Benjamin, David Bruckner, Patrick Horvath, and Radio Silence. Southbound, like I said, is an anthology horror film, and it is actually from the creators of the VHS trilogy. You guys all know the VHS movies. I actually don't know if it's like the same directors or if they're producers from that, trilogy or whatever. All I know is that it has something to do with the VHS trilogy. There's like people behind it that worked on the VHS trilogy, and now they made this film. Now I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love the VHS trilogy, especially the first 2 I absolutely love. One of my favorite found footage movies out there, honestly. I really, really love them. They're very creepy, and as for this movie, we'll get into that later. The film takes place during one full day on a desert's highway, and yeah, basically all of the events in this film just take place on or around this highway that I don't exactly know where it is. I don't think they explained that. I don't know. But like most anthology films, this movie has 5 short stories, and they all just kind of have something to do with each other, and they all connect in a way. But the difference between this one and a lot of the other found footage... But the difference between this one and all the other anthology films that have came out, this movie literally like connects all of the stories together, like scene by scene. All of these stories have something to do with each other, and they literally like connect scene after scene. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. You kind of have to see the movie for yourself to know what I'm talking about, but these stories literally, like, they are scene by scene connected. It's kind of cool. Like, as soon as one ends, the one starts off, like, right away, it's pretty awesome, honestly. But like what I do when I review most anthology films is I'm going to tell you guys what I thought of each of the short stories that are featured in this anthology. So starting with the first one, it's basically about these 2 guys who are, driving on the highway in this truck, and I really do not want to spoil much. In fact, I'm not necessarily going to tell you guys what these shorts are about because I want you guys to see them for yourselves, but I will tell you what I thought of them. And the first one with the 2 guys, I actually kind of really liked. I think it's one of the best shorts of the entire anthology, to be honest. The second story is basically about this band on the highway, and they're going on tour or something like that, and they get a flat tire, and they meet these strange people. They end up staying at their house, and they end up being, kind of strange people. I think you know where this is going. It's one of those stories, but this one was kind of decent. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, it's just kind of in the middle, it was pretty good, but it's whatever. It's not anything amazing or spectacular, but it's a decent watch, it's pretty alright. The third story is about a man who is involved in a hit and run, and besides hitting and running, he hits and tries to save this poor woman and take her to the nearest hospital and try to save her. This one was actually just this was at the point where I started to lose interest in the film because I really did not care what was going on, honestly. At this point of the movie, I was just kind of bored, and I was like, I don't care what happens. The story isn't very interesting. It's one of the weakest, in my opinion. It's whatever. The fourth one is about a brother who is, searching for his long-lost sister in this weird town, and, yeah, this one as well is just kind of meh. It's whatever. I really didn't care. Again, it's one of the weakest ones. It's just, I didn't care for it, to be honest. Like, I was not interested in it. But as for the fifth one is about this family who are at a vacation home or something like that, and it turns out to be like a home invasion thing where there's these guys, at their vacation home trying to, they're invading their home. And this one was actually pretty damn cool. I think this story redeemed, the rest of the stories for me because there is a twist at the end of this short that is pretty fantastic, and it actually kind of connects with the very first one. And the way they do that, I think, is genius. And honestly, the twist ending is probably the best thing about this movie. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, that's why I like the fifth one so much, is just because, of that twist ending, I think is definitely worthwhile. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on each of the stories involved in this anthology. And yeah, overall, I thought Southbound was pretty, it was okay. It is nowhere near as good as the first 2 VHS movies, and it's just, honestly, it's a mediocre anthology. Like, I didn't really care for it, to be honest. Like I said, I love the first and last segments in this film, but the rest of them are just very mediocre, and, yeah, I kind of lost interest, like, halfway through the movie because none of these shorts were, like, really capturing my attention. It was whatever. Now, I did actually see the trailer for this film before I actually saw the movie, and the trailer is pretty fantastic. I absolutely love the trailer to this film because there's just so much going on that you're like, what the hell is going on? What am I watching? There's just a lot of WTF moments in the trailer, and it's just like so much going on, and you're like, what's that? What's that? What's going on? It's like, the trailer is awesome, dude. The trailer is pretty fantastic. However, this is just one of those things where the trailer is much better than the actual movie itself. The movie, you know, it isn't quite as crazy as, you know, as crazy and surreal as the trailer makes it out to be. There are definitely some very crazy and surreal moments in the film, but, you know, they're not really, you know, as effective as they were in the trailer for some reason. I think it's just because, you know, the movie for some reason is just at this certain pace where you're just like, I don't really care what's going on. At least that's what happened with me. But yeah, the trailer is pretty awesome. I absolutely love the trailer for this film, but as for the movie itself, it's pretty okay. Definitely not as good as the first two VHS films like I mentioned. This movie's just, it's alright. I would actually go as far as to say it's probably good. It's nothing great, but I would actually still recommend you guys watch this movie because I think there are, you know, definitely people out there who will love this film. So yeah, I'm still gonna recommend you go watch it. I do think it is worth a watch. It's pretty good. You know, definitely the first and last segments, like I mentioned, are far better than the other ones. Just because of that twist ending, you know, that ending that just kind of like makes everything connect, I thought was pretty awesome. And to be fair, this is a pretty unique anthology film because like I said, you know, the way all these stories connect together, like scene after scene, is it's honestly pretty cool, and it's unlike anything I've really seen before, actually, so I do gotta give him props for that. But yeah, guys, that's about it for Southbound. Overall, probably gonna give this film a 3 out of 5. There were definitely some really awesome moments in the movie, but overall, I'd say it's just like a tad bit disappointing, you know, especially with an awesome trailer like that. The movie's a tiny bit disappointing, but it's still worth a watch in my opinion, you know, especially for the twist ending, and some of the shorts, you know, do have some very crazy and surreal moments in it, which I really did enjoy. I just wish there was, you know, kind of a lot more of those. But I'm still gonna recommend it to you just because why not? I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of you out there who will love this film, and yeah, so yeah, check it out. That is it! That is it. That is it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Jacob Palacio, and I will see you guys later.